Hey everybody, I'm Alex Moore and this is Brent Murphy, and we're the music committee chairs for the Kappa Kappa Psi Iota chapter. And we're going to be giving you a few basic tips to beef up your recording for the virtual night of musicianship.
We're going to be covering how to perform some basic acoustic treatment on your room, good microphone placement, and how to edit your recording in a digital audio workspace, should you want to do that. Additionally, we'll be providing some submission guidelines so you can get your videos to us and we can put them together. Timestamps for each individual section will be in the description below.
So, you want to record your track with as little background noise or distractions as possible. You might want to record inside since there could be wind and other noises outside, and here are a few common sources of noise you might want to reduce. First, do not record next to a refrigerator. They are much louder than you expect on a microphone. Next, turn off your AC or make sure that it's not blowing while you're trying to record because it also is very distracting and louder than you think. And finally, you are going to want to do a clap test. So to do this, you clap in the room you're recording in, and if you hear an echo or a delayed sound, or in this case you hear like a high-pitched after I clapped, you don't really want that in your recording. Say if you play something really loud, you don't want to hear that echo in your recording. So you're going to want to do some noise reduction. And if you're already recording in your bedroom that's like furnished, you probably might not have any echoes, and that's a good thing, so you don't really need to worry about it because you already treated your room by having things like a bed, clothes, a couch, etc. If you did hear an echo, you're going to want to treat your room, and luckily this is super easy and kind of fun. So to reduce the echoes, you want to dampen the vibrations off your walls and ceilings. And to do that, you can hang up bed sheets or curtains or towels around you, making sure you don't leave two opposing hard surfaces, like two walls that are next to each other. Make sure they're not, one of them is covered. And then you can clap again and hear that there's less echo. So I'm going to treat this room that is unfurnished, and I'll show you. It's a little better.
A nice resource that Georgia Tech students have access to is the Musicians Network. They allow you to for free rent out equipment that you may need to record. So if this is something you wish to do, you can just reach out to Mir at these contact points, and this is just a spreadsheet of what's available, so you can look through this, see if there's anything you need. We will include the link in the description so that you can just access this at any time.
Okay, so today I'm going to walk you through how to record yourself twice in Audacity. So the first thing you might want to do is make a click track. So how to do that is you press generate and then you go to rhythm track, and that will give you this. I set mine to 120 BPM, 6 bars, because I'm just recording a small little thing. And I'll press OK. And now you can see that generated a track with a metronome. So if I play it, wow, sounds like a metronome. Next thing we're going to do is add a track to record in. So I'm going to go to tracks, add new, and I'm actually going to do a stereo track because if I'm recording something and I want it to sound really good and fancy, I might choose stereo. And to make sure that we can record in stereo, we got to make sure that this selector up here with what microphone I'm using has stereo recording enabled and not mono recording. So right now I clicked on stereo, so we're good. I can record this track. I'm going to click in the track to select it and make sure that Audacity knows I want to record in this track. And I'm going to wait 2 measures before starting to play anything, so then I can layer that on top of myself easier. So I'm pressing this red record button. Okay, so now I want to listen to this. There was a little bit of I hit the microphone with my saxophone. So actually, I'm gonna select this part that I hit the microphone with, and make it silent. So how to do that is, I think you go into generate and then silence, and then okay, and then boom, now it's silent there. Where I selected it, and I selected it just by dragging my mouse over it. Now I'm gonna click right before I wanted to hear my saxophone playing and press the spacebar to play. Okay, so you might be able to hear that, but it sounds like my saxophone is a little bit behind the metronome. And when I was recording it, it sounded like I was playing right on top. And this is because of something called latency, where the sound from my saxophone can only get into the computer as fast as my microphone and my computer input of the microphone and all the things that I have the wires going through will let it. So what you can do in Audacity specifically to reduce some latency in what you recorded is I'm going to zoom in just by dragging my mouse, like zooming it in. And you can see this peak is where the metronome click is, and this is where the computer thought I started playing. And so that's pretty behind. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select some area of silence that I want to remove. So then as I remove more silence, the peak will start to line up. So right here, I selected that. And I'm going to press the scissors button, which says cut. And there, the silence is gone. I'm going to do a little bit more because my peaks are still not lined up. Cut. And, ooh, that's looking a lot closer. Let's take a listen. It still sounds like it's a little bit behind, so I'll do a tiny, yeah, that much. Cut. And now we'll listen. Awesome. So now it sounds like I'm right with the metronome. Next thing we're going to do is add another track. I want to record myself twice. So we're going to go to tracks, add new stereo track again. I'm going to click inside the track so that Audacity knows to record in it, and press the record button and play something else. Okay. So you can already see the peaks in this second track are way behind the peaks in the first track. And again, is because of latency. To me, it sounded like I was playing right with myself, but let me take a listen and we'll be able to hear that. Ooh, that is really behind. So what I'm going to do is zoom in again. I see this is the peak where I want to start, and this is the peak where it is, and this is the peak where I want to start. So I'm just going to remove kind of a lot of silence. I'm going to go crazy. Remove. There's a cut button. A little bit more. Cut. Ooh, and we're looking a lot closer. I think this is about it, actually. I may have, if you look at the other peaks, I may have actually crescendoed in a little bit longer than I did here, but we'll take a listen. That sounds pretty close. If I really wanted to make this perfect, I would Control-Z, undo that last cut, and make it a little bit smaller so then I can line up the other peaks. So yeah, so that looks good right there. And it's looking a lot better on this area. So let's listen again. Cool. I think that sounds a lot better, minus the chirp from my saxophone playing. But hopefully that helps you figure out how to record stuff. And hopefully you don't have as much latency as I do when you're recording. Thanks for watching. Now we're going to talk about how to record yourself twice in Reaper. So this is the Reaper opening screen, and you can see there's a little pop-up where it says Reaper is not free. Reaper is free, but they ask for donations, so you can use it entirely how it is, free of charge, and what you just do is wait for this countdown to go away and it says still evaluating. Click that button, boom, you're in Reaper. First thing you want to do is add a click track. So what you do in Reaper is you go to Insert and then Click Source right here. And to set the BPM, you'll go down here to where the BPM of your track is. So right now it's at 120. It's really small, but let's move it to 200. And I press enter, and it just shifted everything for me, and the metronome changed. And to make the metronome longer, if you want it more than however many measures, you can just find where your cursor looks like this and drag it out. So we're actually going to move the BPM back down because 200 is really fast for what I'm trying to record. So So I'll leave it back at 120. So the next thing we're going to do is add another track, and to do that, I'm going to right click in this dark area down here, press insert new track, and boom, we have a new track. Then to be able to record something in it, you need to record arm it first, which basically tells the computer, yes, I would love to record this microphone signal. So to do that, you press this little red button, and it says record armed now, and you can see that's my voice. That's the microphone signal being picked up. So I want to record at the beginning, so I'm going to make sure that's selected right here, and as you can see, the cursor is moving when I click in the timeline, so right now it's there. To start recording, I'm going to press this red button. And I just pressed the spacebar to stop it, and this little thing popped up where it wants me to save the file that I just recorded, and I will say save all. So now this file is in my editor. I can listen to it. I'm going to press the beginning and then press the spacebar to start playing. Alright, I'm not too happy with my tone, so I'm going to re-record that. Alright, now we'll take a listen. Okay, that sounds pretty good. And you might notice that there's some latency here, and as we talked about earlier, latency is when the signal from the microphone doesn't go into the computer instantaneously, and right now I'm running my microphone through like a series of things, so there's going to be a lot of latency. And if we want to remove that while we're recording and not have to remove it every time you record a new track, I'm going to zoom in, and to do that you just scroll up with your mouse or your trackpad. And so I'm going to go in here, and I see that this peak right now where my cursor is, that's where the metronome hit is, and right here where my mouse is, that's about the peak of where I want it to play. So in order to figure out how far apart these things are, I'm going to do a little. Alright, so I see that there's this delay here, and I want to move my cursor to both this click and my peak right here. And in order to do that, yours might not let you click there. So what you need to do is first, you're gonna have this little magnet enabled, and that magnet will help you snap to the beat. So first I'm gonna keep the magnet on, and I'm just gonna click where this beat is. And what I want to do is I'm gonna right click right on the track that I would like to split, and I'm going to press split items at cursor. You can also press the letter S on your keyboard, and you can see that made a little split thing. And now I'm gonna deselect the snap, because if I keep it on, I can't select in the middle of these two like beat markers. So I'm gonna unselect snap, and then I can move my cursor wherever I want. And I just want it kind of at the peak, basically, of where I'm playing. So I'm gonna right click again, split items at cursor, and then I have this little sliver of sound. What I want to do is I'm gonna right click again, look at item properties, and it's gonna tell me how long this thing is selected. So it's 180 milliseconds. That's what this last number is. So I'm gonna press OK. Awesome. Now I want to record at negative 180 milliseconds so that the DAW automatically moves everything back 180 milliseconds for me, so I don't have to remove 180 milliseconds at the beginning of every track. So to do that, we're going to go in Options, Preferences, and then under Audio, we're going to go to Recording, and right here, there's these two lines, and we're going to change the output manual offset to 180 ms, and press OK. That goes away, and now I'm going to create a new track, insert new track. I'm gonna unrecord arm this one, otherwise I don't want to record over my stuff. But I don't want to hear this track while I'm recording, so I'm gonna press this mute button, the M, so I won't be able to hear it while I'm recording. I'm gonna zoom out, go to the beginning. Actually, I'm gonna turn on snap so I can go to the actual beginning. Boop, there we go, and record arm that. And I'm good to go. So I'm going to play the same thing, I think, what I remember I played. And we're going to see how it compares. So Okay, so I'm going to save all, and let's take a listen. Alright, it sounds like I'm actually playing before the beat, so maybe that was a little bit too much on latency. So I'm going to go back into options, preferences, and maybe change it to 150 milliseconds. And record it again. So and we'll save it and listen. That sounds great. So now I'm going to record my second track on top of that by right-clicking, pressing Insert New Track, record arming this one, record arming this track, and I can leave this one unmuted because I want to hear myself while I'm playing. So I'm going to press record. And press save, and we'll take a listen. Okay, and a little funny thing is there's more latency after, so when you send the audio out to your headphones. So actually, I was playing ahead of my latency reduction marker, and to fix this, honestly, I would just record without hearing the other track. But hopefully you won't have as much latency as I do because I'm running through multiple things. If you just play on your laptop microphone, your phone microphone, or you just have like one cable, you should be fine. So I'm going to actually just undo this and mute this track, and we'll see how it sounds. Press save, and now I will unmute this so we can hear them both at once. Cool. So now it sounds perfectly on top of each other, and yeah, I hope that helped, and I hope you understand a little bit more about latency now. Thanks for watching.
Hey, my name's Brent Murphy. I'm a third-year computer science major. I play the trombone, and today I'll be playing I'm a Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech by Frank Wop Roman.
Okay, and the final step for your submission will be just to drop the the video file, into the Night of Musicianship, in this case, Fall 2020 submissions folder that we have. We'll provide a link so it'll be easy to access. So you'll just drop that in there. Make sure it's an MP4 file. It just makes it a lot easier to edit. Usually your video will save as an MP4, but in the case that it doesn't, it's pretty easy to save it as an MP4. You literally just look up MP4 converter, and then there's a bunch that pop up. They're all free. This is the one I use. It's pretty easy, fairly self-explanatory. And if you could save your submission as your first initial, last name, NOM, and then your semester, so in our case it'd be F20, but if you're recording in, say, spring 21, you could put S21. And that's all you need to do to submit your NOM video.
We hope you found these tricks and tips useful, and we look forward to your future submission. Thanks for watching, and happy recording!